Hey, this is Jeff.
I'm Rob Zabisa.
Rob, I'm here too, so
Okay.
haven't heard. This is Jeff. I haven't heard anybody else.
Julie's a Palace. She's there on the phone. Ken is a Palace. So we're not muted, but I don't hear anybody else.
Hi, this is Bruce Perry. I'm present.
Hey, Bruce.
Hi, Bruce. How are you?
Hi, thank you.
And Marlene's here.
Maybe Mark.
Hi, this is Benny. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Carrie, can you hear me?
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Carrie, can you hear me? Speaker? Like it's showing me now.
Welcome to the City of Plant City Historic Resources Board virtual meeting. Today's date is May 19th, 2020. The time is 5:31 p.m. This meeting is called to order. On March 20th, Governor DeSantis issued Executive Order number 20-69, which allows for virtual meetings. We thank you all for participating. Madam City Clerk, would you call the roll? Here.
Vice Chair Sperry. Bruce Berry's present.
Marcia Passmore. Ms. Passmore has already informed the board that she would not be present. Board Member Poe.
What'd she say?
Board Member Poe, are you present?
Pat Polk, I'm here.
Thank you. Board Member Lorano. Board Member Lorano.
Looks like he's muted. There he goes.
Board Member Lorano, are you present?
Benny Lebrano here.
Madam Chairman, all are present except for Board Member Passmore.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the HRB meeting held on February 18th, 2020. Do we have a motion? Please state your name prior to stating a motion or a second.
Benny Lebrano, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it. Pat Polk, second the motion.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there any discussion? There being no discussion, we will vote by roll call. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Bender,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Barry,
Yes.
Board Member Poe,
Yes.
Board Member Lorano. Board Member Lorano,
Yes.
Is there any way to turn that up where you?
Yes, motion passes 4-0. The next order of business is public comments. Public comments for this meeting are accepted by electronic submission or mail to the city clerk, and any public comments received are disseminated to the Historic Resources Board electronically prior to the start of tonight's meeting for review and inclusion into this meeting's official record. The next order of business is the swearing in of staff and speakers.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
The next order of business is new business. First item on the agenda is HRB 2020-14, lot on North Wheeler Street. Applicants Curtis Devane and Robert Rhodes. This is a new single-family home, and Marlene Sanchez staff will make the presentation of the case.
This is Marlene Sanchez, planner with the city's Planning and Zoning Division, and I have been sworn in. An application was received to construct a new 1,996 square foot single-family home on North Wheeler Street within the Plant City Northeast Residential Historic District. The lot is located on the east side of North Wheeler Street between West Calhoun and West Herring Streets. The home will be considered a non-contributing structure. Next slide, please. The applicant has incorporated the existing block structure, a former workshop, into their design. Next slide. Staff reviewed the design against Chapter 3 of the Historic District Design Standards regarding new construction and concluded that it met the required guidelines for zoning issues and site coverage, scale and massing, building alignment and spacing, orientation of building, site coverage and setbacks, and for floor heights, porches and entrances, windows and doors, and walls and roofs. Next slide, please. Here, the elevations and details of the proposed home are shown. The design elements also meet the Historic District Design Standards, including a usable front porch with columns, consistent heights of windows and doors, gridded window patterns, a high-pitched roof covered with dimensional shingles with a 12-inch overhang, lap siding on the front, a finished floor height of 18 inches, a front door with a single glass pane insert, and decorative metal awnings over the front windows. Next slide, please. The site plan shows that the home will meet the required lot size and setbacks for the zoning district. It also shows how the property will be accessed from the public alley by a driveway leading to the home's covered carport. Next slide, please. Staff reviewed the application and supporting documentation and determined that the proposed new single-family residence plans meet the desirable design elements enumerated in Plant City's Historic District Design Standards, and it is found to be consistent with Chapter 38, Historic Preservation, and Chapter 3, New Construction Additions and Alterations to Non-Contributing Structures of the Historic District Design Standards for Plant City, and recommends approval. This concludes the staff report.
This is a public hearing. In the notice for this hearing, the public was advised to contact the clerk at least 48 hours prior to this hearing should anyone wish to speak. Madam City Clerk, did anyone contact your office to speak at this public hearing?
Madam Chair, we have Mr. Rhodes representing the applicant available. No other persons have requested to be heard for this public hearing.
Mr. Rhodes, are you on the line? Mr. Rhodes, are you on the line? Mr. Rhodes, are you on the line? I do not see or hear a response from Mr. Rhodes. I will enter into the record that public comments were received via written communication with the city clerk's office from Shannon and Nicholas Collins, who live at 706 North Everett Street, and those have been entered into the record. Mr. Rhodes, have you come on the line? There being no further speakers, this hearing is closed. What's the pleasure of the board? Remember to state your name as you make a motion or second.
This is Bruce Sperry. May I make a comment?
If you'd like to offer a motion, and then we can go to discussion.
Okay, no motion.
We have an open application at the hearing. Do we have a motion? Hearing no motion, the application is not approved at this time. The next item on the agenda is HRB 2020-19, 1112 West Baker Street, applicant Robert Zaviza, new single-family home with detached garage. Marlene Sanchez, planner on staff for the City of Plant City, will make the presentation of the case.
This is Marlene Sanchez, planner with the city's Planning and Zoning Division, and I have been sworn in. An application was received to construct a new 2,188 square foot single-family home with a 624 square foot detached garage on West Baker Street within the downtown Plant City Historic Residential District. The lot is located on the north side of West Baker Street, just west of Whitehall Street. The home will be considered a non-contributing structure. Next slide, please. Here, the elevations and details of the proposed home are shown. Staff reviewed the design against Chapter 3 of the Historic District Design Standards regarding new construction and concluded that it met the required guidelines for zoning issues and site coverage, scale and massing, building alignment and spacing, orientation of building, site coverage and setbacks, floor heights, porches and entrances, windows and doors, walls and roof. Next slide, please. This graphic representation gives an enhanced visual of how the house and garage will be situated on the property. Next slide, please. The site plan shows that the home will meet the required lot size and setbacks for the zoning district. Next slide, please. Staff reviewed the application and supporting documentation and determined that the proposed new single-family residence plans meet the desirable design elements enumerated in Plant City's Historic District Design Standards and is found to be consistent with Chapter 38, Historic Preservation, and Chapter 3, New Construction Additions and Alterations to Non-Contributing Structures of the Historic District Design Standards for Plant City and recommends approval. Next slide. This concludes the staff report.
This is a public hearing. In the notice for this hearing, the public was advised to contact the clerk at least 48 hours prior to this public hearing should anyone wish to speak. Madam City Clerk, did anyone contact your office to speak at this public hearing?
Madam Chair, we have Mr. Zavista and Mr. Bessie representing the applicant available. No other persons have requested to be heard for this public hearing.
Mr. Zavista and Mr. Bessie, are you on the line?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. You may proceed if you have comments.
I appreciate, first of all, everybody taking the opportunity to try to work through these situations that we're all going through and allowing us to make this happen via phone and email. So I hope we've tried to abide by what the area looks like, and we really want to comply with trying to keep that type of style and consistency through the Plant City area. I live in Plant City myself, and I also know this area very well, and that's what I wanted to accomplish when we designed the home. So we look forward to getting the opportunity, and hopefully everybody agrees with the board that we can persist and move forward with this project.
Thank you, Mr. Bessie, for your comments.
Absolutely.
Mr. Zavisa, do you have any comments?
I also agree with Mr. Bessie. He is my builder, and together we look forward to working with the city to build this wonderful home for the community of Plant City.
Thank you. There being no further speakers that have registered, this hearing is closed. What's the pleasure of the board? Remember to state your name as you make a motion or second.
This is Bruce Sperry. I move that we approve the application.
Pat Pogue, seconded.
We have a motion by Bruce Sperry and a second by Pat Pogue. Discussion.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Motion by, second by Pat Pogue. Is there any discussion?
This is Bruce Sperry. I wanted to ask Marlene if she could put up the slide with the orientation, if there's one toward the homes on either side. It looks as though the home that'll be to the right, or I guess to the east. Do they have a different orientation to the road that they are on rather than on Baker Street?
This is Marlene. No, they all face West Baker Street.
Okay.
Mr. Sperry? Mr. Sperry?
Yes.
Our chairman would ask if you could repeat what you were asking because she was unable to hear you.
My question was regarding the orientation of the applicant house with respect to the homes on either side, if they have the same orientation onto Baker Street. I just noticed that with the fence line, with the picture, it looked like on this, I guess, is on page 3. I didn't know whether the homes where the fence is on the right side of the picture, whether they are also oriented. It's cut off, if they're oriented on the Baker Street, because I noticed the house further back on the picture seems to be have a different orientation.
This is Marlene Sanchez. He's referring to page 3 of the staff report, not on the slideshow, but the homes on either side and the proposed homes will all be facing West Baker Street.
Mr. Sperry, does that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Is there any further discussion? There being no discussion, we will vote by roll call. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Chair Bender,
Yes.
Vice Chair Sperry,
Yes.
Board Member Poe,
Yes.
Board Member LeBron,
Yes.
The motion passes 4-0. The application is approved. The next order of business is other business and announcements. Our attendance report: the following HRB members were absent from the February 18, 2020 HRB meeting. Bruce Sperry and Marcia Passmore both notified staff in advance that they would not be able to attend the meeting. What is the pleasure of the board? Remember to state your name as you make a motion or second.
Benny Lebrano, I make a motion to approve.
Second it. Pat Pogue, second.
We have a motion by Benny Lebrano with a second by Pat Pogue. Is there any discussion? There being no discussion, we will vote by roll call. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Bender,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Sperry,
Yes.
Board Member Poe,
Yes.
Board Member LeBron,
Yes.
The motion passes 4-0. Do we have any other business to come before the Historic Resources Board? Any other business? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.